How are you liking it? Actually, well, why don't I tell you how I'm liking it, Dykstra, even though chat has told me multiple times they don't care. Why don't I tell you? All right, chat. So here's my honest opinion of Warhammer 3. It's good. Okay? The game is good. The game is like... It's good. So, but it's not without its flaws. All right? The game is buggy. The game is very, very buggy. The UI changes leave a lot to be desired. Most notably, like, look at this skill tree. Okay?
Your essence.
Remember whenever these used to be yellow trees, and this was a red tree, and this was a blue tree? Well, now they're all red trees, right? So, like, this little icon here that says character skills, battle skills, and campaign skills, see how it's broken up into yellow, red, and blue? That just doesn't exist anymore. They're all just red. If I'm a new player and I'm coming into this for the first time, I'm going to look at this and go, why is my level got this weird yellow and blue background? That doesn't make any sense because everything's red. Ridiculous. It's all red. Another criticism of the UI.
A malignancy pervades.
Both the building and demolishing icons are red. They're both red. So the only way you can tell if you're building something versus demolishing something is this icon on the left. It's an hourglass if you're building, and it's like a hammer and some ruins if you're demolishing. Yeah. That's really all the bad stuff I have to say about the UI, I think. Good things that I have to say about the UI is this screen. This screen is wonderful. I get to see all the stats of my lord that I'm looking at. I can select other lords up here by seeing their icons and their level. I can see if they have level ups available. This is super good. Their magic items and their ancillaries are listed much better. I don't have to click a whole bunch of drop downs and scroll for forever to find the thing that I want. They have sort options. You can sell them. You can fuse them together to get higher rarities. Things no longer take a turn to equip anymore. I can just equip it and unequip it and equip it and unequip it. That's really good. I like that a lot. They've moved their items to its own tab. This is kind of like whatever, you know, it's whatever. Kind of cleans up the skill tree a little bit, I guess. Yeah, so like the Lord and Hero UI, the unique stuff that they've changed about it is pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. At least blood in game is also red. Once we get blood in the game, I guess, yeah. As soon as that happens. Let's see. As far as like the campaign map goes, I think the campaign map is gorgeous. I think the new corruptions are really good looking. I mean, just like, look at this. Look at this. It's a chained skull over a swirling vortex. Like, the campaign map is wonderful. It has some performance issues, but I kind of expect that with the Total War game. I expect it to get better over time. But yeah, it does have some optimization issues. That battle map we were just in, the lava like tanks my FPS down to like 15, whenever normally I have 50 to 60 on the rest of the map. Yeah. They made everything red but didn't add blood. No, there'll be a blood DLC like always. Yeah, for sure. For sure. What else? The new Lords of Magic feel really good. They're different, they're diverse. The four factions, the four Chaos factions feel completely distinct and unique. Slaanesh beats Khorne. Khorne beats... no. Slaanesh beats Tzeentch. Khorne beats... No. Wait, hold on. I gotta think it through. Khorne beats Tzeentch. Tzeentch beats Nurgle. Nurgle beats Khorne, right? No. Hold on. I'm stalling. Tzeentch definitely beats Nurgle. Nurgle definitely beats Khorne. Khorne beats Slaanesh. And Slaanesh beats Tzeentch. It's like a circle. Yeah. Professional reviewers. If you own previous Blood DLC, you don't have to buy the new one. I would assume so. Yeah. So it's like they have like a cyclical counter, and it feels really good. Hey spinners, hello. That's a square. Listen, I'm not here to listen. The campaign map itself, like the actual layout of it, it's huge. It's really big. It's a ton of landmass. I've not even touched like this whole quarter of it, like this whole area. Never even been there, at all. And that's insane to me because I've played a lot. The cities themselves, the provinces are huge. There's a ton of 4 settlement provinces. And it takes at least, it usually on average takes 2 turns to move from one city to the next. As you can see here. See the red and blue line? 2 turns. 2 turns, 2 turns. It's huge. Because of this, you end up fighting a lot more field battles than people were thinking, because people are used to the clumped up Mortal Empires map, which you can just city hop for forever. I mean, who remembers the Infinite Torox Rampage campaign, where I literally went from Norska all the way down to like Zufbar. Actually, I went from the top of Nagarond to Zufbar in a single turn, and I only stopped because I wanted to. I could have kept going, because it was just city to city to city to city to hit to city. More open battles, less just sieges? Yeah, exactly. I've played for 60-something hours, and I think I've fought like maybe 6 walled traditional siege battles. Like walls and towers and gates and all that stuff. I think I've fought like 6 at all. Yeah. Yeah, I really like that. The objective, I've not shown the objective off on stream, but I've also not completed a campaign yet. I have lost a campaign to the objective though. I think the losing condition is a bit too harsh. You only have 1 turn to respond. It's similar to the Vortex campaign, where if a faction gets to the objective before you, you have a chance to stop them. But with the Vortex campaign, you have like 5 turns to get your army ready and to teleport to the quest battle. In this campaign, I'll do it without spoilers. You have the turn that they match the objective. They get all 4 of these things. You have that turn that they get that object to get your legendary lord to a portal on the campaign map to stop them. If you don't do it on that turn that the game tells you, hey, they're about to win, you lose. That's it. You lose. Have you autoed them a lot? Also, how was the siege holdout times? I remember it was really viable in 2, but wasn't really viable in 2, but wasn't historic. T4 Parker, hello. How are you doing? Let's talk about auto resolve. I have auto resolved maybe a dozen battles total. That's it, and that is because on legendary difficulty, the auto resolve is super skewed against the player. I'm talking, you can be up against a 3 stack, a lord and 2 units, and the auto resolve will kill units in your army if you have a 20 stack. Like, it will full destroy units. You have to fight almost every battle in the current build, which, you know, can be changed. The sieges themselves, they are pretty entertaining. I actually like the barricades and the inner towers and the capture points. I like how taking a settlement isn't just one big, you push into the wall, you fight the encounter, and if you win that initial encounter, you're good. Sieges and minor settlement battles are much more drawn out. You have the initial conflict, and the conflict extends further into the city as the AI sort of retreats and moves around. Now this kind of makes it a little bit easier. The sieges are a bit easier because you're not fighting the entire enemy army at once. But it can also make them harder if you make the wrong decisions, because you're fighting a long drawn out battle and the AI could wear you down. Yeah. I'm talking more about the pre-siege part where they start taking attrition. Thanks for answering. Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot about that part. So in Warhammer 3, as soon as you get encircled or besieged by an enemy army, the garrison and any army inside of the city starts taking attrition. There is no siege holdout time. It's immediate attrition. Now, there are buildings and things that you can do to lower that attrition, like this tier 4 demonic locust garrison building. Attrition minus 15% when under siege. And that attrition takes into effect the second the enemy army surrounds you, which is kind of a controversial change. For me, it's been okay. I haven't really minded it too much. I also haven't really I mean, it happens to me every campaign. I haven't really felt like, oh, dang it, if I wasn't taking attrition here, I could really do something. Because the AI still waits a while to attack. They'll besiege you, they'll attrition you down for like 5 turns, and then they'll attack you. That still happens. So I don't really know what to say about that mechanic. It's neither here nor there for me. Yeah. Chat, any other questions? They should have just lowered the timer? Perhaps. Perhaps, yeah. Make it like a couple turns instead of immediate. Yeah. Or maybe even instead of having this building lower the attrition, but maybe have this add siege holdout time where you don't take attrition for like 2 turns if you have this building. Maybe something like that. Yeah. While I wait and see if anyone in chat has questions. The factions themselves, very diverse. The unit rosters feel good. Yeah. That would also be good. Yeah, something like that. The diplomacy rework. This is another huge thing that they've done in the game. I think the new diplomacy changes. It's not like really a full-blown rework. It's more, I guess it kind of is. It's more like they've added a feature and then brought in some new some features from old games. So the quick deal button from Warhammer, from Troy and from Three Kingdoms is finally here. This thing is amazing. It's like the only thing that I do to engage in diplomacy. I just click through all the things. I look for green numbers or really close numbers. I go in here. I hit this button. Boom. The deal is done. You know. Back in Warhammer 2, I would have had to have gone to him and said, hey, he kind of likes me. Hey, the non-aggression pact has a moderate chance of success. Let me type in a number that I think he'll be willing to pay. Oh, he declined it. Let me increase that number a little bit. Oh, he declined it. Let me increase it again. Oh, he declined it. Well, screw him. Now I can just go, oh, hey, he almost wants non-aggression, and then I can press this button that automatically gives me the magic number, and it will always succeed every time. That is just beyond words awesome. It takes a lot of tedium out of the campaign. It takes a lot of just frustration and UI, constant clicking and clicking and clicking to just try to get a deal. You know what I mean? The Outpost Mechanic, I haven't been able to show that off to you guys. But whenever you get a... do I have a campaign where I have one? I don't think I do. Because Hell Pit died in my other campaign. Quick deal makes the game flow better. For sure, TNT Midnight. For sure, for sure. Let me finish this turn real fast. Let me finish this turn real fast, and I'll show you guys another campaign. So I can show you more things. Let me see. I don't really want to. I should. Oh, hey, summon Disciple Army. Whoops, don't click that. Buy some Marauders. Right, I don't have any movement. Yeah, okay. The turn. Save. Alright, so this is a campaign that I've been playing off stream. I'm just going to load it up real quick. The Outpost Alliance mechanic is pretty great. It is. It is. The hour is not over. Yeah, I know. Being able to recruit other factions units can be pretty helpful. Yeah, let me show you. So this is a Demons Undivided campaign, chat. This is a Demons Undivided campaign. We're on turn like 110, 107. Okay. So pay no attention to the Bloodthirster and the Lord of Change. Fuck them. So let me see. Diplomacy. I don't have any allies. Can I make some? Oh, I absolutely can. Okay. So...
Bring death.
Do the Sorrel. Let's do the Sorrel.
To be honest, I'd rather be raiding, okay. But you have my time. In agreement.
So now we have a defensive alliance. Alright? So now, whenever we actually go to that faction, we have this war coordination button that lights up. We can go here, and we can select targets, clear targets, zoom to target. You know, it's the old war coordination system. We can also request an army from our ally, taking control over it for like 10 turns. This is only available with vassals and military allies, and it costs a lot of allegiance. Allegiance is an alliance currency. So you have allegiance, it generates passively over time. You can do missions where you fight their enemies to get a lot of allegiance at one time, and you spend allegiance to request armies and to recruit their units. You can build an outpost. Excuse me. You can build an outpost in one of their settlements, and this will give that settlement 2 units of yours in their garrison for them to use, and it will allow you to recruit any units that they can recruit from that settlement. So if they have the War Mammoth building, I will be able to spend allegiance and purchase War Mammoths for my army. There are some limitations. Certain units can't be purchased this way. Creative Assembly did not specify which ones. but I haven't found any yet that I couldn't, but they say that there are those out there. Yeah. The other stipulation, you can only have 4 allied units in an army at one time, and if the alliance is broken, those units disband. That does not count if the faction is destroyed, however. It's only if you lose the treaty. If the faction is destroyed, you get to keep the units. So if we look at this Bloodletters army, these are Plague Claw Catapults. These are rank 8 Plague Claw Catapults. I have 3 of them. I used to have 4, I lost one. I recruited these from Clan Molder. Clan Molder is now dead, but I got to keep them. This mechanic is phenomenal. I love this mechanic with a burning passion because you can build such cool armies like this. I got Nurglings, I got Marauders, I got Pink Horrors, I got Plague Claw freaking Catapults. Yeah, you could be playing as the Empire, you could ally with the Dwarves and get organ guns, flame cannons, gyrocopters if you wanted them for some reason. You could be playing as the Warriors of Chaos, ally with the Skaven, and get freaking Poison Wind mortars. Yeah. So no Vampire Coast units for vampire accounts. I mean, if you got an ally, if you were playing as Manfred and you got an ally with Noctilus, you could purchase in the Grand Combined map, you could purchase Necrofex Colossi. 100%. Yeah. Also changes how you play your faction. You're a melee faction, have range weakness. Just get ranged plus artillery from outposts, but I guess it can be fun. Well, it's kind of balanced because you can only have 4 of those per army, right? Bit broken? Sort of, yeah, sort of. But it rewards you for actually engaging and investing in diplomacy, and that is something this game desperately needed. There was basically no reason to sign defensive alliances or military alliances or vassalize ever because there was no reward. It was a big liability. That's all it was. The AI got nerfed. They drug you into wars you didn't need to be in, and you didn't get anything out of it, and they would never really come to your aid or follow your war coordination target. But now you can literally take control of their armies, which cost you no upkeep. They don't increase your supply lines at all, and you can just use them for free for 10 turns. You just send them to do whatever you want. Phenomenal. That's 20% of your army. That's fair, but I mean for like a unit of like Iron Breakers, you can't have a full-fledged like 8 units of a front line of Iron Breakers. You know what I mean? You are kind of limited. Vampire counts before Necrofex's Pog? Yeah, absolutely. You absolutely could do that. It takes a long time though. Soro out here gushing for things we've had with mods for years. Yeah, but you know me, I don't play with mods. That doesn't count. Yeah, it's a nice diplomacy reward. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a limit of how many other faction units you can have in your army. And it needs to be from a living ally, so it is balanced. There is things in there to balance it, yes. Is it completely balanced? We'll have to wait and see. I haven't played with it enough. The game's not been out long enough. Yeah. But like, you can't just play as Slanesh and have a doom stack of war mammoths. Like, you can't do that. You can only have 4 of them. So, yeah. Let me see. What else is there? What else is there? What else is there? Supply lines. Supply lines got changed. Supply lines on Legendary now only increases your percentage upkeep by 4%. This, I thought, was going to be an amazing change, but there's a bit of a caveat to this. In general, the player's economy has been nerfed. You don't have such a crazy economy like you used to. Your base income is lower. I'm speaking on Legendary difficulty, of course. And the AI fields way more armies than they used to. So the difficulty of the game has been changed. You're no longer facing 4 stacks of rank 9 Empire halberds and crossbowmen. You're not facing that anymore. You're facing 6 stacks of rank 3 Empire halberdiers and crossbowmen. The AI don't get nearly as much XP per turn as they used to, where you were seeing like rank 9 stacks on turn 30. That doesn't happen anymore. But the AI is fielding more armies. The AI also gets different bonuses based on the difficulty. It's not quite so melee skewed anymore. I think on a very hard battle difficulty, they get something like 10 leadership, 10% melee attack, 10% melee defense, and like I think it's 20 reload skill on ranged units. It's not like just the absurd melee bonuses they used to be getting. 4 mammoths, that's basically a doom stack. I mean, I guess it could be, yeah. I guess it could be. So the difficulty is different. The auto-resolve is more skewed against the player, so you have to fight more battles more often. Yeah, it's difficult in a different way. You're going to be fighting more battles. Your income's going to be lower. You're going to be able to field more armies, but so is the AI. But they're going to be generally less quality in terms of unit rank and buffs. Yeah, so far, I actually really love it. Is the AI in any way smarter? I hope the game is harder, not easier versus AI. I haven't played enough to really know. Having not played Warhammer 2 in like 4 or 5 months, and then coming into this, it's really hard for me to say if it's the same or better or worse. I feel challenged. I feel like I'm taking losses whenever I think I should, and I'm not whenever I don't think I should. As far as like what the AI does and the decision making it does, I haven't really seen them do anything too terribly dumb. Now I know there are other streamers who have played the game more than me that have, but the AI also does new things. They have changed the AI. If there's a unit of archers and they're shooting you, and you click them with a Searing Doom, and your Searing Doom starts winding up, those archers will run away. If they're not tied down, they will run out of that Searing Doom immediately. So you have to be a bit more careful. Same with wind spells and vortex spells. They will try to dodge your spells. Yeah. The auto-resolve thing, is that legendary only, or is it skewed for all difficulties as well? Also, have you lost a campaign yet, Soro? Yes, I've lost the Demons of Chaos campaign. Yeah. They've always done that? No, not in Warhammer they haven't. Not in Warhammer they haven't. Nope, nope, nope. They'll try to dodge things like whenever they're more like marching towards you, but whenever they're standing there and like shooting you, they won't move. They will not move. For the auto-resolve thing, on easy, the auto-resolve is way in your favor. Absolutely. It's based on difficulty. I've seen that happen many, many times. Hey, listen, man. Let's agree to disagree, I guess. You've got your experiences, I got mine. Yeah. Thanks for answering. No problem. No problem. They do it better now. If the unit is not pinned down in combat, they will almost always get out of the way if you cast spell them. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not saying the AIs never dodge spells. They just do it. I guess I should say they do it better and more often now. I'll say that. Just thinking back, I've had AI move out of my bombardment spells whenever they're like marching towards me. Let me see. Is there anything else? Intern times seem good. There's 104 factions in the game. The intern times, they seem fantastic. Even in this campaign where I have about a third, I would say, maybe a half of the campaign map revealed, I'm noticing a little bit of lag. I'm at 30 FPS whenever before I would be in the 50 to 60 range. So as more of the campaign map gets unveiled, the FPS definitely goes down, for sure. For sure. Have they made AI spells no longer follow units? I actually haven't seen the AI use too many spells against me. Come to think of it. Other than Kislev dropping down AoE slows. So I don't know, I haven't really paid attention. I guess the snow doesn't help with the FPS. Yeah. Guess not. I think the anti-aliasing in this game is a little bit too aggressive. I turned it down to the lowest setting, and I think it looks good. But whenever I had it on, like basically max, I was like, man, things are just really hard to see. Like, Katerin just kind of looks like a fuzzy blob, you know? I think the anti-aliasing is too aggressive. Sure. That's all I can really think of, chat. Battles, spells, Lord's Heroes, UI, balance, fun. I have a lot of fun playing this game. I'll come out and say it. I have a lot of fun. It's got no shortage of bugs, though. I've had the game crash on me at least 4 or 5 times. The game crashed on me whenever I did an event in the Blood God's realm. I had the game crash on me whenever I told a flying unit to land over top of terrain that he couldn't land on. Yeah. I've had the game crash on intern randomly before. There are some fixes to these they've got out in a beta. I'm just not running on the beta because I don't trust it. The game's stable enough for me as it is. But you will encounter bugs if you buy the game. So I will say, all in all, I think Warhammer 3 is an amazing game, but it's got like this crust of gunk on top of it that Creative Assembly needs to scrape off and wash away. Some optimization and bug issues. So if you liked Warhammer 1 and 2, you will love Warhammer 3. If you're kind of hesitant about it, you might wait for like the first DLC or something, because you'll get into it and it'll crash and you'll rage quit. Yeah, I'm used to Bethesda and CA bugs aren't really new to me. Hey, that's fair. If what I will say is, if you're a fan of the Warhammer franchise, I think this is going to be the best Warhammer to date. Hopefully they'll polish it like they did in the past. I think that's the only thing I can really say is I can attest to Creative Assembly's track record. Who here remembers the Potion of Speed update? Like that alone solidified, hey, this developer actually cares about optimizing their game. You won the battle, but your Slan died? Hey, you know, sacrifices must be made more. So, it's better than Warhammer 2. It is better than Warhammer 2 was on launch. Is it better than Mortal Empires in its current state? In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. Straight up. I think Warhammer 2 is more stable. I think, obviously, Warhammer 2 has more diversity, but that's not fair because Warhammer 2 has like 60 legendary lords. But on launch, yes, this game is better than Warhammer 2 and Warhammer 1. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you've got free, if you pre-order the game or if you buy it in the first week, you have 12 legendary lords with 12 start positions. Insane. Across 10 races. Insane. I mean, on launch, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a good question. That's a great question. Yeah.